I never really used to think much about my life. Maybe because I never had the time, work, home, running around, the usual stuff. I just turned 32, and if you had asked me a year ago how I was doing, I would have smiled and said, I'm fine. Everything's okay. But honestly, nothing was okay. I just didn't want anyone to know. The real story started the day Aaliyah left. We were together for 5 years. She knew everything about me. I'm not a morning person. I leave dirty dishes in the sink till the next day, and I always guess the ending of every movie. She actually liked those things about me. And then one day, out of nowhere, she said, "We live in the same house, but we're far from each other." At first, I thought she was joking. But her eyes had that serious look, the kind that hits you straight in the chest. I asked, "What am I doing wrong?" She said quietly, "It's not what you're doing. It's me. I'm not who I used to be. And I'm scared we're dragging each other down." I didn't stop her. Sometimes, you know that stopping someone is just selfishness. She left. Not with anger, not with drama. Just quietly, like something that reaches its end and simply rests. After she left, my house was the same, but it didn't feel like home. I stayed up late, kept the TV on, so the silence wouldn't swallow me. I took extra shifts, so I wouldn't have to go home. Friends asked, "What happened? Why do you look down?" And I didn't know how to answer. One evening, on my way back from work, I saw this old man fixing the soil of a dying plant outside our building. Just casually, I asked, "Do you think this plant will survive?" He smiled and said, "Son, things only die when no one cares for them. Everything else gets better. Takes time. That's all." I didn't think much of it at the moment, but those words stayed in my head. A few days later, I finally looked around my apartment. Dishes, clothes, mess everywhere. And I realized I hadn't been taking care of anything. Not my home, not my life, not myself. I spent that whole day cleaning, sorting my things, putting away everything that reminded me of Aaliyah, not to erase her, but to find myself again. While cleaning, I found a small note she had written long ago. Just one line. "When things get hard, don't stop being kind to yourself." That moment felt like someone put a gentle hand on my shoulder. I cried. Not loudly, not dramatically, just quietly. And maybe that was the first real step toward healing. Slowly, I started changing things. I took morning walks. I began calling my mom more often. I learned to cook for myself, and I picked up the dreams I had pushed aside. My life didn't change overnight, but it definitely started moving again. Months later, I saw the same old man. This time, sitting next to a healthy, green plant. I smiled and said, "It looks great now." He replied, "I didn't do anything special. Just took care of it a little every day. That's all life is too." And I thought, yeah, maybe that's really it. I still think about Aaliyah sometimes. But now, it doesn't hurt. I feel grateful. We were part of each other's journey, just not meant to walk the whole road together. Now, every morning, I open my window, make my coffee, and actually live my day. And the plant I bought, inspired by the old man's words, is growing beautifully. Maybe I am too. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories like this.